Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming to the National Constitution Center and being here with us today. I want to start out by saying that all men are born equally free and independent and have certain inherent and indefeasible rights, among which are those of enjoying and defending life and liberty, of acquiring, possessing, and protecting property and reputation, and of pursuing their own happiness. That is from the Pennsylvania Declaration of Rights, Article 1, Section 1. Equality is the fundamental significance of a democratic society. We have progressed to equality over our great history here in Pennsylvania and in these United States. Our history that begins here in Philadelphia to fighting for freedom from the crown and freedom for religion. Without this equality, our society would never have achieved desegregation of schools, marriage equality between interracial couples, and women would still not be able to vote or hold office. Denying equality is the very definition of discrimination. We have always stood strong in the face of discrimination, which in its various forms has never withstood the test of time. Disparate treatment based upon race, religion, gender, disability, ethnic origin are no longer tolerated. One by one, each has fallen in this Commonwealth. It is now the time, here in Pennsylvania, to end another wave of discrimination. All men who are created equal are equal unto themselves. The legal authority that marks the significance of this day comes from both the Pennsylvania Constitution as well as the Constitution of these United States. The Pennsylvania Constitution reads, "Neither the Commonwealth nor any political subdivision thereof shall deny to any person the enjoyment of any civil right, not discriminate against any person in the exercise of any civil right." The 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution states that no state shall deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process, nor deny to any person within this jurisdictional the equal protection of the laws. Based upon this legal analysis, I cannot ethically defend the constitutionality of Pennsylvania's version of DOMA, where I believe it to be wholly unconstitutional. Thank you. Thank you. As you know, I was elected Attorney General to represent the people of this Commonwealth, all of the people of this Commonwealth. And in deciding whether I have to perform the parallel duties of representing the agencies of this Commonwealth and the Governor and the Secretary of Health and Human Services, it was in conflict with my other duty of protecting and defending the Constitution of the United States and of Pennsylvania. In deciding which path to take, I looked at it this way. The governor is going to be okay. He has a team of lawyers, very good lawyers. As a party to this lawsuit, I'm going to be okay. I have a good team of lawyers as well. But in thinking about who represents all of you, who represents the Daves and the Robbies and the Johns, and the Emilys and the Amys, who represents you? Who is it in this Commonwealth that stands up for your civil rights and your constitutional protections? And in thinking of that, I thought the only person who does have that duty and that responsibility is the Office of Attorney General. And as Attorney General, I choose you. Today, the Attorney General chooses to protect all those without high-priced lawyers, all those who suffer discrimination and inequality, those thousands of families who have been denied of the dignity and respect that the Constitution protects and guarantees in marriage equality. Today, we represent everyone who does not have representation. And today, we defer to the Office of General Counsel to represent the governor as well as the other parties to the lawsuit that was filed on July 9th. I thank you for coming here today. I thank you for your support. And I ask that we celebrate tolerance. I know that in this state that there are people who don't believe in what we're doing, and I'm not asking them to believe in it. I'm asking them to believe in the Constitution. I'm asking them for tolerance. I'm asking them for understanding. And I'm asking them for equality and due process. Because today the wave is against gay marriage. What is it going to be in 20 years from now? And if we let that dam crack and we let inequality seep through, then we're going to have a flood on our hands. And it is our duty, each and every one of us, to protect the constitutionality, to protect the rights and dignity of others, and to protect the equality of all men and women in this Commonwealth. And I will close with a quote from RFK, Robert F. Kennedy. And he says, and I'm paraphrasing, "It is up to every single one of us to stand up against intolerance. It is up to every single one of us to stand up against an injustice. And when we do that, we create tiny ripples. It is our hope that those ripples create waves. And those waves can break down the strongest of intolerance and unbearable situations. And that today is one step closer." Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. Thank you. I will be happy to take any questions. Yes, sir. I have not, sir. Our process is to send over a letter, as we do on many occasions, delegating authority back to the Office of General Counsel. I don't speak for the governor. I don't know. Yeah.
Is that the only alternative to the governor's?
Well, yes, he has his Office of General Counsel. They will represent him in matters such as this and other matters that frequently go back and forth between our offices. I don't believe it will affect our relationship. I've always said from the beginning, I am a professional, the governor is a professional. I do my job. I am an independent agency, independent from the governor's office. I do what I believe is right, and according to the Commonwealth's Attorneys Act, what my duties are, and the governor does what he does as well. Yes, ma'am. I believe that any method that breaks down discrimination and inequality is the method that we should all take, whether it's parallel methods of the courts or through the legislature, however the plaintiffs see fit in this case. I have dual roles as Attorney General. Pursuant to the Commonwealth's Attorneys Act, I am obligated to protect and defend the laws as on the books in Pennsylvania. Because I also protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. And under the professional rules of conduct, and just one other thing. I have that authority pursuant to the Commonwealth Attorneys Act to delegate back to OGC. The defendants in this case deserve a defense. As a lawyer, I have an ethical responsibility to provide the best defense possible. If I cannot do that because I do not believe in their defense, then I have a duty also under the rules of professional conduct as a lawyer to make sure that they get the representation they deserve. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am. No, I am not. We are reviewing our legal options now as a defendant in the lawsuit. And then we will let you know as soon as we figure out the path that we will be taking. That's right. I am not only a party to the lawsuit, but I am also responsible for defending the governor and the Secretary of Health and Human Services. So in those dual roles, I have to defend myself as well as, if I so chose, defend the other parties. I have one final comment for you. Now that we're here in the Constitution Center, I know that we talk a lot about the Constitution. And as I said to my nieces who are here in the audience, I don't just want to teach them to talk about the Constitution. I want to teach them to act towards it. We are the land of the free and the home of the brave, and I want to start acting like that. Thank you.
The first commercial steam locomotive to run in the Western Hemisphere operated here in Pennsylvania in 1829. The Stourbridge Lion was built in England, shipped to New York, and traveled by canal to Honesdale